You guys graduate high school. She goes off to college. You beg her not to. You want to go with her, but you didn't get accepted to the school. You try to find a way to move with her over there. And through much pain and tribulation, you're unable to do it, right? She comes back for her first winter break, and you notice that she's distant. She isn't as, into you as before. Now, all of a sudden, when you say, hey, I want to come visit you on campus, she has excuses. Now she has a new group of friends. And before you fucking know it, you're getting hit with the fucking... She breaks up with you. There's a girl that you spent the last 3 or 4 years with, and she breaks up with you. You don't know what to do. You don't know what's going on. You feel like the world's going to end. You talk with your buddies. They're like, don't worry about it, man. We're going to go out. We'll figure this shit out. Okay. You reluctantly agree. And you notice that she's distant. She isn't as, into you as before. Now, all of a sudden, when you say, hey, I want to come visit you on campus, she has excuses. Now she has a new group of friends. And before you fucking know it, you're getting hit with the fucking... She breaks up with you. There's a girl that you spent the last 3 or 4 years with, and she breaks up with you. You don't know what to do. You don't know what's going on. You feel like the world's going to end. You talk with your buddies. They're like, don't worry about it, man. We're going to go out. We'll figure this shit out. Okay. You reluctantly agree. You go with them to the nightclub. You're approaching girls left and right, trying to hit on them, introduce yourself, and you notice a cold shoulder. None of them really engage with you in conversation. They look up at you for a second, they go back to their phone. As you try to start conversation with multiple women, they're getting pulled by their fat fucking beluga whale friend. They're getting pulled into sections. You talk to 30 girls, strike out with every single one. You get 2 or 3 numbers, but you strike out with every other girl. You wake up the next day, groggy as fuck, feel like shit.
Bomba.
You text those girls that you contacted, no response. You go hit up another girl that you went to high school with. Hey, I'm single now. You want to hang out? Oh, yeah, sure. You guys plan a date? She flakes. So, within the span of a few weeks, you lose your girl, you strike out horribly at the nightclub. A girl that you thought you might have been able to court or get with flakes on you and doesn't even show up. Frustrated, you take to YouTube and type in, how do I get girls? You find me. And not only do I explain why a girl would break up with you when she goes off to college, I also explain how nightclubs are a waste of time. And unless you got a section or you have your shit together or whatever, you're a Chad, you're going to have a very difficult time. I talk about hypergamy. I talk about women. It's at that moment that everything fucking clicks. Oh, shit. Does this nigga know me? What's going on here? He just connected the dots about why I have all these problems with females. I've always thought this, but I couldn't say it. Holy shit, I'm not alone. You get addicted. You watch more of our shows. You tune after hours, see female nature there. You see our breakdowns of, cultural events where women display horrible behavior. And then you become a supporter of the movement, right? But let's kind of peel this back. Why? Well, I'll tell you why. I'm unapologetically describing, to some degree, your experience. That is why people watch this shit. This is why people care about what I got to say. Because I'm telling you guys stuff or preparing you guys for stuff that your father, your uncle, your brother won't a lot of the times. Whether it's by their ignorance or because they don't know how the sexual marketplace works now. things have changed significantly. Now, let's go back to the original article here. Alcohol consumption is down. Well, why is alcohol consumption down? Alcohol consumption is down because men, like the scenario I just gave you, are realizing that nightlife, bars, etc., are simply not conducive environments to pick up women unless you're a high sexual market value guy. Average dudes are going to strike out. So if you take the fact that, number one, the red pills exploded in popularity, then number two, most guys shared experiences with always striking out at the club and or nightlife, it's no wonder that alcohol consumption is down. There's no point. Because most guys know that drinking alcohol is intimately tied to the pursuit of women. So why are you going to drink alcohol if you're not even bothering to pursue the women? Most guys are social drinkers. They're not going to drink just to get drunk. And I would argue that men of this generation are far more red-pilled on female nature than my generation. Don't get it twisted. We still got a lot of simps. But for you guys, like, the red pills become mainstream. My generation, it wasn't. So first I wanted to open up with this, that alcohol sales are down $830 billion. And I would argue a big reason why it's down is because a lot of men are walking away. Right? Then I saw this video here where Mike Maslick talks about this. And he kind of dances around the topic, by the way, which I always thought was kind of funny. Here, I'll play it one time through, and then I'll play it and break it down. One time through, no interruptions. Give me 1 sec, guys.
Alcohol is in decline. Alcohol is in rapid, permanent decline, they're saying.
Yes.
There's just a lot of people out there who just don't want to drink alcohol anymore. It's very, it's very detrimental to your health, to your decision making, obviously. And so some people are going towards psychedelics. Some people are just doing drugs. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on out there, but alcohol has become, it's in decline. And so what you're seeing along with that is you're seeing a lot of very alcohol dependent scenarios also decline. And that means super clubs, because there's really no way to want to spend that much time in a club, like a super club, without being under the influence. It's just not so I think the trend will continue to push towards lounges, places that you can have conversation, which is great. And of course, like, we live in a world where everybody wants to have, they want to be in an aspirational scenario. Everybody wants to be at the place that you can't get into. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of.
All right, so let's play this again now. Now I'll give some commentary. I wanted you guys to be able to hear it one time uninterrupted.
Decline. Alcohol is in rapid, permanent decline, they're saying.
Yes.
There's just a lot of people out there who just don't want to drink alcohol anymore. It's very, it's very detrimental to your health, to your decision making, obviously. And so
but that's not the reason.
People are going towards psychedelics. Some people are just doing drugs.
Yeah, so there you go. Because they're finding other ways to fucking, numb themselves, but they're just not doing it via alcohol as much anymore.
Like, there's a lot of stuff going on out there, but alcohol has become, it's in decline. And so what you're seeing along with that is
like, when I was growing up, I remember people used to say alcohol is social lubricant. Well, there's no need to use social lubricant if you're not going to be social. And the reason why guys aren't as social is because many men have figured out that the math just don't math. It's not worth it to pursue these insufferable, annoying-ass chicks.
You're seeing a lot of very alcohol-dependent scenarios also decline, and that means super club.
Nightclubs, bars, etc. Now, the other thing when nightclubs, guys, right, there's a couple things that killed nightlife. And I've talked about this explicitly before, but I'll kind of cover this again because some of you guys are new here. One of the things that absolutely killed nightlife, by the way, was the rise of bottle service. And I've noticed no one really talks about this. One of the things that absolutely killed nightlife and night game, right, was the introduction of bottle service, namely bottle service and VIP sections, right? And the reason why is because by instituting something like bottle service in sections, what you've inadvertently done, right, is you've now commodified the asset that's supposed to bring you the paying customers in the first place. Nightclubs have to operate on a delicate balance of having enough girls there to get men to go there while simultaneously also having enough men to foot the bill. I'm going to say that again. Guys, this is very important. Okay, this is very important shit that no one ever talks about. Nightclubs run on a very tight rope and delicate balance. Shout out to you, Katie 180, where they have to have enough women in the nightclub to incentivize men to come and spend money, but they also can't have too many women in the nightclub because women don't pay for shit. And they're bad for business, but they're a necessary evil because they're the ones that bring the men there who actually do spend the money. And this, my friends, has been a mathematical equation that many nightlife owners have had to battle with for years. You have to have like the perfect ratio of both parties to be profitable while simultaneously bringing in your customer base. Because if you don't have the men, you don't get any money. Because let's be explicitly clear about this. Most women are not going to pay to go out, bro, at all. Okay? Let's just keep it a fucking bean. They'll never tell y'all this. They'll never admit this shit. But most women have way too much pride to ever pay for their own fucking drink at a bar. Most women have way too much pride to pay a fucking cover fee to get in. They're not doing it. Okay? When it comes to nightlife, females are fucking entitled to a whole other level you would never understand. They literally look at it like, we're the commodity, we're not paying, we're the prize, and they act like it. So, this has been an equation that many nightlife owners have had to struggle with for years. And then with the lack of men drinking alcohol, right? Because make no mistake about it, less guys are going to the club, which means less guys are drinking alcohol because that's where alcohol is consumed most of the time. Contrary to popular belief, most niggas are just sitting around with a fucking bottle of vodka, drinking that shit at home for no reason. Most guys are drinking for because there's some type of social event tied to it. Well, if you remove the social event, hence the nightclubs and going and getting girls, sales are going to decline significantly, obviously. Let's keep going here.
Because there's really no way to want to spend that much time in a club, like a super club, without being under the influence. It's just not so I think the trend will continue to push towards lounges, places that you can have conversation, which is
yeah, maybe. But what Mike has failed to realize is that this isn't just a nightclub problem. This is a young men / hypergamy problem. Like lounges might last longer than a nightclub, but it doesn't make it immune because lounges still suffer from the same problem, the same inherent problems, which is expensive alcohol, entitled women, right? And the incentive to go out just isn't high enough anymore. It just isn't. Simply put, it's just not. So
great.